Have you noticed how many people have become quite cynical lately? To the point where people don't trust each other anymore, and they're actually going online searching for kind people, where there's now this desire for kindness. And people turn to online because they feel like they can't find it in real life. And that to me is totally understandable, because the truth of the matter is, we almost can't. When we run into people, we start asking immediate questions, right? We're just like, man, can I trust this person? What is this person's motives? Like, is there an ulterior motive in the things that they're saying? Are they even being honest with me? And I think that most of us have been burned by people by selfishness, really, that has been disguised as self-love. So we have been sold that self-love is the highest virtue now, right? Everybody has to love themselves, and then automatically what you will do is you'll start loving other people. Well, I feel like it's about time where people came out and said the self-love movement has failed us, that it is not actually true. Because all these people who have been loving themselves for years and healing for so many years, why have they not come out and started loving other people? Why is there still a deficit of love for other humans? Why is there a deficit of kindness? So one has to ask how we even got here. There has been a cultural shift, and there has been a breakdown in our culture for sure. And so I just want to point out a few things that I've noticed, not comprehensive, just a few. So one is this rise of social media. And so social media gave us this illusion that we would be more connected than ever, and what's actually happened is we're more disconnected than ever. There has been massive rates of loneliness, and people are like, oh, I have this online community, but then you find out that they have no friends in real life. Another cultural shift that happened was the rise in going to therapy. Yes, therapy has helped many, many people, but I think a major flaw is therapy speak. So what you learn for yourself in therapy was then brought out into the culture, and they became mainstream cultural words. So we started hearing things like toxic and like emotional harm, harmful speech. And what that does is you have people who still, again, thought that they had the permission to be selfish under self-care and self-love by guarding themselves, putting all of these walls up by saying that those people are harming me. So what you learned in therapy with triggers and whatnot was brought out into the world, and now everybody is pretty much on this high alert with this therapy speak. A phrase that really, really bothers me, and it really drills into people's mind the idea of self-love, center of the universe kind of mindset, is main character energy. So yeah, you may get that from maybe, I don't know, superhero movies or whatnot. But when you say that this person gives main character energy and stuff like that, what you're essentially saying is you think you're a main character of your own life, and another person is a main character of their life, and on and on. So then everybody else who ends up in your life story, what does that make them? That makes them disposable background characters, like NPCs in your amazing life. And that is not reality at all. Instead of us all being a part of a bigger story, you think that the world is just about yourself. That is a monumental problem. So what's not told to people is that when you live long enough for just yourself, what actually ends up happening, instead of loving other people, you become the center of control. You compare everybody else to yourself and your ideologies. Your mind actually becomes an echo chamber for itself, and you stop seeing other people as worthy of grace if they don't align with what you believe. And so this is where cynicism is born. Though we don't want to acknowledge the rhetoric that we keep hearing that keeps going in our mind and in our self-conscious is that we are the center of the universe, and that what we believe is important, and that it's about ourselves, and think about yourself first, self-preservation. So when you meet another person, what happens? You are most likely going to think they have the same exact thought process as you. They are going to care about themselves first before they even think about you. And so if every single person is out there in the world thinking about themselves first before they ever think about another person, then of course you're going to have massive distrust of other people. Of course you are. You're going to start thinking the worst. And it has been scientifically proven now that the human mind, that we were actually wired to be interdependent, not dependent, not islands to ourselves, but actually interdependent and a community of people. So The flip side of this is some people do realize that we are supposed to be with other people, and they do understand that they're frailty, but they take it to the other direction and they actually become too reliant on other people, where we end up with another psychological term, codependence. And all of this, I would say, and this is something that bothers me, is that we have essentially pathologized love. So love ceases to be any kind of, it's lost its romance, and now it's just like this scientific ideology for everybody. How do we determine, say, the love the psychological way, as opposed to just being human beings who need other human beings and who desire connection with others? Now everything has to have some sort of label. Everything has to be like, it's an attachment disorder, it's this, it's that. And that just, it breaks down our humanity, and we don't even realize what we're doing with the words that we're saying. So much so that we've actually also turned human beings into commodities with our language. Realize when we're talking about people who you want to date, it's high value people and low value people. Look at the way we're talking about people. Like you're trading some stocks in the stock market. And honestly, I think it's quite disgusting language that we're using for one another. What we've lost with this self-love and this self-aggrandizement is actual true humility, not this idea from the dictionary that you're lowly and you have no self-worth. No, just understanding your strengths or weaknesses and who we are in relationship to one another, and that we're all created equal and that we all have inherent value, as opposed to our value being extrinsic, being based on looks, on your fame, on money or status, whatever it is. And this is why people don't have kindness anymore. We have commercialized almost everything about being a human and about love and about connection. There's also been this great rise in the way people speak to one another. It's all like this debate, this us versus them mentality, right? Where I said you have the echo chamber in your mind. Well, social media also gave us echo chambers of tribalism. So with therapy as well, bringing us this emotional mindset of, oh my gosh, people could emotionally harm you. Now we have everybody being super guarded, everybody's flinching, everybody's defensive, everybody thinks that people are out to get them when they're speaking to one another. We used to be able to give people the benefit of the doubt. We used to think from charity, oh, this person isn't saying something to me to hurt me. But now we're talking about people's language being weaponized against us. So we're just assuming everybody's out to hurt us. You can't have these mindsets and go out into the world and be like, I'm going to go out and make friends today. I'm going to go out and, have a relationship. Well, no, because we're all thinking such terrible things about other people, but apparently with self-love, we're not thinking it about ourselves, right? So much so that we're lying to other people. Now we have flattery. We have become so fragile and so like on the fence when other people are talking to us that when you do have a relationship with somebody else, you aren't still letting your guard down. You're still not being vulnerable. Instead, now we're flattering one another. Let me give you an example. I was standing next to this girl and she was complaining that she had put on over 30 pounds and she wasn't happy with the way she looked. You should have heard the choir come out. The choir to be, you look so good, girl. No, don't even talk that way about yourself. And I'm standing there and I'm like, the dishonesty in this speech right now, these are supposed to be friends. Why are they lying to her? And I turned to her, her face hadn't even changed. Like she didn't believe a single thing that they said. And so I met her with some sort of depth. I acknowledged that I had suffered the same problem and I spoke to her about it. And we don't need people lying to our faces. But we can't even get honesty from the few friends that we have because there's no depth to the friendships anymore. There's no vulnerability because everybody feels like they're being judged. The only person you feel like you can trust is yourself. The videos that are being pumped out to the world when people are speaking and they're telling you to love yourself and you're the center of the universe and don't care what other people think and don't think what's about others. It's amazing when people make these videos. My personal opinion, what I think, is that when they're talking to their audience and they're telling you not to care about others and it doesn't matter what you think and blah, 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 I'm just like, they're talking about the people who are even in their audience. They're essentially saying that they don't even care what they think. and that nobody should care anything about other people because it's just about yourself. That is the rhetoric that is actually being pumped out. This is not healthy for anybody who wants to have any semblance of a relationship with their parents, with friends, with a significant other. It's just not healthy to sit there and talk about an individual and then everybody else has no value. But then somehow you're like, oh, no, you do have value, and I do want to be in a relationship with you. This is dichotomous thinking. It's not helpful. We're in denial. We're lying to ourselves. I think one of the things that we really need to do is we need to acknowledge this whole human beings are inherently good. Well, why do we need to even acknowledge that? What does that have to do with this video? It has everything to do with this video. Why is everybody protecting themselves from other people and healing and practicing self-love and self-care if every single human is inherently good? If everybody's so good, then where are all of these safe people? The truth of the matter is people aren't inherently good. We're flawed. We hurt each other. But that's exactly why we need forgiveness, we need honesty, we need grace when we're speaking to other people. The healing that we want in our lives with this self-love, well, healing takes honesty, healing takes humility, and healing takes people. It's not something you do alone. It's something we actually do with others. And if we can't learn that people are imperfect, and that includes ourselves, and understanding the basis of human nature, then you're never going to love another person. You're probably never even going to love yourself because we're lying to ourselves. We're lying about other people. We think that people are the enemies. It's the people who are hurting us, but we also hurt other people. That's what's super important. That's what I really think this whole self-love movement has done. It's put this focus on ourselves as us being these amazing human beings, and we're not having enough compassion for ourselves and we have too much for others. I don't think that that is true. I actually do not. I think that now this mindset has caused us to elevate ourselves too high, and now we're looking at other people as everybody hurts us and not that we hurt other people. Not that we're here and that we both hurt each other. We both love each other. There's goods, there's bads. When you get involved with other people, yeah, that's where there's going to be hurt. That's where there's going to be pain. That's where there's going to be vulnerability. But that's also where there's going to be love. That's human life, right? That's the connections that we're looking for. If we can't get people back into the mindset of real bona fide humility, of understanding that we're no better than another person and those people are not just better than us, that we're all just created equal with inherent value. If we can't get back to there, then we'll never get to the mindset that we need one another and that we need to treat other people the way we treat ourselves. And if we don't treat ourselves well, then we need to treat ourselves better and we need to treat other people better. And this will not happen unless we do it in a community of people where we can actually say, that person's different from me, but they're just as valuable as me. Their opinion is just as valuable as mine. And I love the fact that they're different because then I can learn from them. The more we isolate under the banner of self-care, the more we will lose the ability to care at all. The solution isn't more self-love. It's learning to love beyond ourselves. It's to care about human flourishing.